Hi and welcome. Today I'm going to do a recipe from Vanilla Sugar blog. It's a Google site that I found. The name of the recipe is Coconut Truffles. So we're going to do it. It kind of turns out like Almond Joys or Mounds depending on the kind of chocolate you're going to make. It's a very simple recipe and we'll get started now. So the beginning of the recipe starts like this. You will take a bowl, and I've measured 10 ounces of sweetened coconut. You can use any kind of coconut you want. And then I have a can of sweetened condensed milk. It's 14 ounces. And all you're going to do is pour the sweetened condensed milk in to mix with the coconut. Recipe calls for a pinch of salt. So I'm actually doing a triple recipe. So a little bit of salt, and so you're just gonna mix that together. It really doesn't take very long. One of my favorite utensils to use for this is a rice spoon because it's short and you can really get in there and mix it really well. Okay, so this will act as your middle of your Almond Joy or Mound bars, coconut truffles. Coconut truffles according to the recipe. So now that you've got it mixed up really well, the instructions say to refrigerate this mixture for 20 minutes to harden up because it's really sticky because of the sweetened condensed milk. So in 20 minutes we'll come back to it. Welcome back. We're working on our coconut truffles. I actually left it in the fridge overnight, and in the recipe it says to freeze it for a few minutes before you start dipping it. So here I just took some semi-sweet chocolate chips and melted them in the microwave. I would recommend you do it, I think this is about a cup and a half. I would recommend you do it for a minute and then stir it and see how it is, and then do it probably for 15 seconds or so afterwards, and just keep stirring in between so it's nice and smooth for dipping. Or you could do it on a double broiler. I like to do it in the microwave because it's definitely the easiest and the quickest way to do it. So we have our middles for our coconut truffles. So it says to use 2 forks. I usually use my hand, but I'll just try it this way. So you just take your middle out that you dipped and just dip it in your chocolate. You can use any kind of chocolate. We just had semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then you put it on a rack. Although I don't know if you need to put it on a rack because we can just do it different ways. Anyways, sorry. And then you just take an almond. These are just raw almonds. The recipe says to do roasted almonds. You could probably do different kinds of nuts if you have a preference. And so you would just put the almond on top, and that would be your finished product. And that is basically what you need to do to make these coconut truffles to be like Almond Joy or Mound bars that you would find in the store. After dipping your chocolates and putting the almond on top, just place your pan in the refrigerator till the chocolate hardens and enjoy. You can also put it in a sealed airtight container and leave it in the refrigerator so it doesn't melt, probably for about up to a week, but I'm sure they won't last that long. So finally I'm just gonna put this tray in the freezer and let it harden really well before I put it in the sealed airtight container to be eaten later, so it'll be easier to handle when it's frozen. So again, these are the coconut truffles. They're like Almond Joy and Mound bars depending on what kind of chocolate you use. Enjoy making them. I'm sure you'll enjoy eating them too. Happy cooking.